Hey, and welcome to Stitches. I'm Brittany, and I'm back with another great video on how to deepen your relaxation that you're experiencing while you craft, whether that craft is crochet, knit, sewing, quilting, or something else. And I'm really excited about these videos that we're creating because all of the videos that I'm sharing with you right now are videos of different practices that I use in my own crafting that have been really helpful for me to deepen my sense of relaxation, feel more positive, and just better as I craft, but not just while I craft, outside of my crafting too. And that's really, for me, what crafting is all about. It's a way for me to connect with myself, feel better throughout my day and throughout my life. And so I'm excited about this video because we have Kim Standwood Terranova here, and she's the author of The Technology of Intentions. And this has been a very, very impactful book and just teaching for me on my own life, and something that I've been practicing for the last little while and working directly with Kim to help me with this. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy it too. And for me, what it's all about is words and thoughts and being more mindful of those, and knowing that we have the power to create our own reality, and using intentions, using acknowledgments, using gratitude. These are some of the things that we're going to be talking about over the next videos with Kim's help. They really are they're something that we're able to use to be more deliberate about what we think about and how we create our reality. And I've been tying that in with actually my own crafting. And so throughout this video, Kim's going to be talking about intentions, acknowledgement, and gratitude. And I'm going to be applying it to how I use it in my craft and how it actually helps me relax more and feel better about my entire day. So today we're going to talk about intentions. We're going to focus on that in today's video. And with that said, Kim, thank you so much for being here.
I'm so happy to be here. I love everything you just said. I love that I'm talking and you're sitting there creating right in front of me. It's perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Well, I really do appreciate you being here. And I knew the second that I saw you that I needed to learn more about intentions and acknowledgments and gratitude, because where I'm at right now in my life is just really trying to be more deliberate about the words that I use and the thoughts that I think, because I want to consciously be living the life that I want to live. And a lot of us crafters gravitate to crafting because it's a way for us to connect with our me time. And when I connect with my me time, I become more positive, and it impacts my time beyond crafting. So I was really curious about this idea of intentions, and maybe we could just start with you letting me know, like, what are intentions and why are they helpful or important for people to be using?
Beautiful. I was thinking about your me time, that act of self-care that is so beautiful. Intentions are one of the most amazing tools in consciously creating all that we wish in life. So I'm glad that you already touched on that. We are always creating. We're creators, and how beautiful that you know this. Everyone knows this because you're creating in all that you're stitching. And when we really look at what is my intention as I create, we consciously create our lives to what we wish them to be instead of unconscious. Words are powerful. Intentions give us really clear words to what we wish to create. They're like our aim of what we desire. So when we're not having a life of intention, writing intentions, we're unconsciously in expectation, because we live in a world that has lots of expectation of what should happen or what should be happening in our world to us. And the second we get caught in an expectation of anything happening outside of ourselves, we've lost that base of self-care and self-love. When we come back to my intention is to create, to be the place of love, to consciously stay present in kindness with my family or whatever it is, then we're planting that seed into the energy field for creation to move us forward. So that where's our attention? On what we wish or what we fear or what we expect. And the expectation will lead to disappointment. So our language to do with expectation, I should have done that better. Why didn't I create that better? Why didn't they love it more when I handed it to them? All those are expectations. Versus an intention, my intention is to give of my love through the art of this craft that I'm so wonderfully giving to someone, and then letting it go.
Right.
That's that energy, the clear words are already creating. So which do we wish to create?
Right. I love what you said about being conscious of this, because we're either consciously or unconsciously creating our life,
Yes.
right? And so I love that idea. That's something that's always been really important to me, is I want to consciously be creating my life and, sit down and imagine, what does my ideal life look like, and figure out how to get there. And with intentions, the whole idea that really attracted to me was it was bringing more consciousness around living that life.
Yes.
And so, directing my energy towards what I wanted and catching some of the thoughts that were going on in my head and kind of crafting an intention around that in order to be more deliberate about what it is that I want. And for us, it could be anything, right? I mean, it could be, I really want to create a beautiful blanket for my nephew, for example. That's what I'm creating right now. I have a little nephew being born, which I'm so excited about.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
love that blanket.
I went with some modern colors, which I'm really excited
Perfect.
about. Neutral. I don't normally do that, but I'm really excited. So my second nephew's being born in a few weeks. And this is a blanket I'm making for him. And actually, it's been the perfect blanket for me to practice these intention setting, acknowledgments, and gratitude. And I'll touch on that a little bit right now, and then we can talk about a little bit more how you can actually set intentions. But what I do is I like to start my morning with 10 to 20 minutes of crafting time. And that may be knitting or crochet or whatever craft it is that you do. And I apply the practice of intention setting, gratitudes, and acknowledgments to this particular project or whatever project it is that you want to work on. So it's time for yourself, it's time for your craft, but we're adding that extra layer of being conscious about where we're directing our energy, so I can be really deliberate about what it is I want out of my day. And so, as you were saying about intentions, and maybe we can go through this a little bit after, is I really think about what do I want out of my day? Like, do I want to have a fun, playful day? Do I want to create a blanket that's filled with love for my nephew? Whatever it is. And I set an intention, and then for an entire row, what I'll do is I'll just focus on that intention. So let's say my intention is I want to, maybe we can come up with one together for my nephew.
I love this, for that row. So
Yes.
It's for your nephew?
It's for my nephew, yep, my unborn nephew.
Okay, beautiful. Yep. So what is it right now that you wish for your unborn nephew?
I wish him so much love and happiness, and that he just has a really joyful life and feels so comfortable being himself.
Beautiful. So how about my intention is to pour forth love and joy into every stitch of this row.
Say that one more time.
My intention is to pour forth love and joy into every stitch of this row.
Okay, I love that.
Something like that, because those are the words you want to bless him with.
Yes.
So those are qualities.
Yes.
There's no expectation in that he has to be a certain way.
Right.
So your gifting, my intention is to give love as I create. My intention is to be the place that is stitching kindness through every stitch in this row. Like every row, I love that you said that, because then you're going through and just creating a whole palette of wonderful qualities that you're giving. None of that has an expectation. That's an act of self-care.
Right. And, I love what you said there, because, again, it's just being more deliberate about what a lot of us are already doing. Because I know for me, when I crochet or knit or whatever it is that I'm doing craft-wise, I am unconsciously and sometimes consciously just really sitting there and pouring love into the project that I'm making. And that's one of the things that I really love about crafting is it's an opportunity to pour love into myself, but more often than not, it's really about pouring love into the recipient that I'm making it for. And so with that intention, it's bringing more deliberate energy around it. And that becomes very meditative.
Yes.
I love that.
And just think, I'm not sure how you get to the chair, but if someone is filled with upset or a hard day and is just thinking, I just want to sit down and do my craft so I can have some peace of mind. When we sit, if we carry all that we just, wherever we're at, into the chair and just start going, right?
Yes.
Then sometimes those worried thoughts, things that we've been, dealing with, come right into that instead of it being a relaxation moment. What if as we sit down, you just take 30 seconds or less and just think, what is it I wish to create now?
I love
Not
that.
from where I was,
Yes.
because this is my self-care time. So what do I wish to create? Ask that question. And if they're the words of peace, I just want to feel peace and joy and just some rest for a moment. Then we set the intention as we sit before we even begin. So my intention is to let go of every prior moment to this and allow the peace of my heart to pour forth as I craft.
I love that for so many reasons, but I know for myself, and maybe some of you can relate to this, but I'm often racing through my day, maybe not physically, but mentally. I'm in my head a lot, and I'm just thinking about, work, business, everyone else, all the mental to-do lists that I have to do. And sometimes when I sit down to craft, most of the time when I sit down to craft, I'm coming from that place of my energy being a little bit more, I don't want to use the word chaotic, but a little bit more chaotic, and not as relaxed and peaceful as I want. And that's the reason why I'm sitting down to craft, is because I want to just take some time for myself. I want to connect with myself more. I want to relax more, because it's going to make me better for me, and it's going to make me better for everyone else around me. So I love what you said about just even before I start crafting, I can sit down and just take a few seconds to check in with myself and ask that question. What was the question?
What is I desire right now? What am I craving or desire in this moment? We live in such a full world, so everything you just said, that sometimes we go to sit down and we are bringing the chaos of our life to the seat where we're really looking for rest. And if we don't pause for a moment, it's just a brief pause. And this is a practice that we all get to know in humanity. Like, where can I pause, get to center before I start creating? And in that's where intention is so brilliant, because if we don't, all that we just brought into our day, we're just taking into the next moment. So it's just a powerful pause to give ourselves a moment, take 2 or 3 deep breaths, come into our center and think, what is it I wish to create now? My intention is to be present to this precious moment and allow my love to pour through my craft. That ability then leaves where we were and gets our attention on what we desire. And when we could still live in a full world and manage all these elements of our lives, and we each have so many, all different, but we have so many, that it gives us a moment to just come to center and begin to create again. And the beauty of that is then we fulfill what we came here for, which was to feel peace, to create from love, to calm ourselves. And then when we finish, whether we give ourselves an hour or 5 minutes and move back into our daily round of the day, we're doing it in a much more conscious way, that we're bringing this moment into that one.
I love that. And, I couldn't help but smile when you were talking about all of this, because it's kind of exciting process too. I mean, I feel like I'm like a kid and it's Christmas time when I'm thinking about intentions, because it's exciting to change the narrative of how life can be and ask those questions, which is like, how do I want my day to be? And how do I want my life to be? And then that becomes exciting, because you realize, or I realize, I have so much more strength and power in my life than I can sometimes let myself believe.
Yes.
And so that is a fun thing. It's like, have fun brainstorming. Like, what is it that you want to bring into your day? And maybe we could talk a little bit about different types of intentions. Like, what do people use intentions for?
I think we start to use intentions for everything.
Yeah.
If we want to consciously create our lives in every detail, relationship, finances, health, wholeness, our family, anywhere in our lives, intentions are useful, because if we look at it as if I'm creating anyway, each and every one of us are energetic beings creating through the energy of words and language. So what do we choose to create with? If we can interrupt the pattern of the chatter of I'm not enough, this day is full, I didn't do well enough, any of that, and just observe that and come up with, okay, what is it I wish to create today? That question, what do I wish to create? Or what is the kindest thing I could be with myself today? What is the kind way to be with myself today? What do I want to bring to my family today? Those empowering questions versus a disempowering question, which would be, what's wrong with me? Why did I do that? Why did I do that wrong again? Something of that is a disempowering question. Again, where's our attention? We can interrupt when we catch ourselves, get back to a kinder version of, okay, what is it? What's a path to be gentle with myself today? If I'm embodying kindness, compassion, for myself, empathy. Okay, that is my intention, to walk the path of kindness and empathy and compassion this day. Those qualities are really what we all wish for in life, meaning not just those, but all qualities. When we get stuck on thinking we just want an end result, I want it to be a certain way, we get hooked into disappointment. If we come back to what are the qualities of life I wish and put that into our intention, then we're creating on a conscious level, not knowing how always, but truly allowing ourselves to stay in the now to create. More energy creates. That's where our attention is, on that intention.
I think about when you say all of that, I think about whenever I make a project, I can be so hard on myself if I have a mistake come up, and then I realize I'm placing an expectation on myself for that project to be perfect. When in reality, what I hear you saying, it's better to shift my focus to what is the quality that I want. And I mean, for me in this project, I really want my nephew to feel love and to just feel comfort in that love, knowing that he can be himself, and to remove the expectation and shift my focus around that thinking and really bring that into my project consciously.
And think how beautiful that is, because you want to bring him love. There's not an end result if that looks a specific way. Love is so expansive that as you want to bring him love and you're stitching it into this beautiful blanket, that's what will be felt energetically around him when it's wrapped around his beautiful body. That is the perfection versus an end result. It has to look a certain way to be perfect.
Yes. And by the way, I also want to mention that what you touched upon, intentions can be used for anything. And I'm by no means a master at this, but I've been practicing it for a little while, and I've been using it in all areas of my life. And so the example that we started out with, which is my intention is to create a project with love for my nephew. That's certainly an intention that I'm using actively in this project, but I use it for all sorts of things. And just another example, I'm trying to be really healthy. I want to be mindful of what I put into my body. So you can set intentions on really anything. And another great example is I can set the intention that I want to nourish my body with the food choices the food that I put into my body, and I can take my project and I can really focus on that for that row. So it doesn't have to be always about someone else. It can also be about yourself. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely, great point. So whether our intention is for this one being health and wholeness, so my intention is to stay conscious, and I'll just rattle off a few.
Please, that would be great.
My intention is to stay conscious in all that I give my body temple as I'm nourishing it today. It could be something like that. My intention is to stay awake in all that I nourish my body with. That can be exercise as well. When relationships, I'll ask couples before they have a conversation to set an intention before they do, even if just one person does. Then one person is getting centered, even if it is my intention is to connect with my spouse and bring the fullness of myself into this conversation. With my children, I set an intention with my children all the time. When my children go to school, I ask them to set an intention before they go to school, because I'm asking them and offering them to remember that they are creating their lives. So where is their attention? So whether it's health, relationships, business, I'll have CEOs of companies set an intention before they start any board meeting, to know that maybe their intention is to connect with everyone in their company, to open their heart and share, and to find divine solutions for their profit line to go up. None of that says a specific outcome. It's all based in qualities. It's all in the present moment. And it is creating in this field that people can create together because the words have been stated. This is what we're aiming at. Then our actions have a through line. Our actions follow that intention. So it isn't just that we write it, don't look at it again, right? Our actions follow it. If you know yours is, my intention is to honor my body in all that I eat today, then through the day, as you're about to eat something, there's a pause of, is this in alignment with my intention? And if it's not, then we don't go down that path. So that, again, it brings the focus to, where's my attention today in all that I wish to create, or patterns that I would just automatically reach for something that maybe isn't so healthy for me. But we want to interrupt the pattern lovingly. So we do it by setting an intention and then following through. And if we slip, we gently just have an intention to forgive ourselves and pick ourselves back up and move on. That there isn't judgment in it.
Yes. So you set this intention, and then it's not like you have to be going through the day, repeating it every second of the day and being really hard on yourself. The idea is that you set the intention and I don't want to say forget about it, but put it out of your mind and know that it's at work, or how does that part of it work?
Great question. We set the intention and let go from obsessing on it. We let go and trust.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we still remember it's running through our mind during the day. And our question can be, is this in alignment with that intention, right? But we must set the intention clearly and let go, so we're not always focused on it as in, am I doing it? Am I doing it? It's more, is this action in alignment with my intention?
Okay, I like that. And that's, again, why I really love to do this while I'm crafting. And again, I have a knit blanket on me right now, and I'm doing it with a knit blanket, but whether you crochet or quilt or sew or make jewelry or sew, whatever it is, there's a way to kind of bring this into your craft practice. But I really like it while I'm crafting because it's something that adds an extra layer of fun while I'm crafting. I kind of set the intention, and then while I'm crafting, I'm thinking about it. As I said, what I like to do is I have a blanket. You can also do a scarf or something simple that's applicable to your craft. And I really love the idea of just having one blanket that you use for your practice, your intentions, your gratitude, your acknowledgments, because you're really at the end of the day stitching so much love into it, right?
Yes.
And so when the project is done, you have this beautiful blanket or whatever it is that you've made, and you can look at it and you can think about all of the intentions you set, all of the things you were grateful, all of the things that you acknowledged yourself for. And we're going to talk about gratitudes and acknowledgments in the next videos. Right now we're just talking about intentions, but how beautiful is that? It's this physical reminder
Yes.
of how you're taking care of yourself. And I think that anytime you have that physical reminder, and Kim, I've had that physical reminder, it's just kind of brings me a little bit more joy. I see the blanket, and it's a reminder of all that I can accomplish for myself and for all the other people in my life that are important to me.
Beautiful. I love that. And it's a physical reminder, but it's an energetic,
Yes.
living, vibrating love blanket.
Yeah.
And everything like that's where the energy of us moves on. You know, the energy of intention continues to create. And when we realize we are co-creating at all times, then we line up with, I have an ability to co-create my life, to
Yes.
really get conscious of just observing what's going on in my thinking, shifting it to what I desire to go on in my thinking, and being really gentle with yourself in the entire process. There isn't any judgment in this. It's all about being gentle with growing. We're growing beings, aiming to have a balanced life, and intentions help us balance ourselves back to center instead of reacting in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense to me. And I would love to just take a second to kind of recap some of what we talked
Yes.
about, because this information has been so impactful for me. So some of the things that you've said, everything you've said I love, but just on a high level, some of the, I guess you could say, action steps are, for myself, is when I sit down to craft, just stopping, and before I even starting the craft itself, checking in with myself. And that was a really new concept for me, checking in with myself and actually asking myself, how do I feel right now? Listening to that answer, really seeing how I feel. What do I want to bring to my craft? And asking that question, do I want to, feel more peace? Do I want to feel more relaxed? Do I want to forgive someone? Do I want to have a fun day, whatever it is, but just really taking a second to think about what it is I want to experience in that day or in my life in general. And then from there, I pick up my, in this case, knitting, this blanket that I'm knitting for my nephew, and I set an intention for that row. I like to set 5 intentions. That's probably me being a little OCD. But
There's never too many.
There's never too many, and maybe you just start with one. It's totally up to you. And as I said, you might just absolutely love this practice, and you might find that every row you want to set a new intention, because it's kind of like fantasy shopping for your life, but it's like creating your own reality, which I love. You can never do that enough, in my experience. And so I'll sit down and I'll think of my first intention, and then I'll strut that row. And as I'm thinking about it, and we can use the example with my nephew about just really stitching love into this blanket and giving love to him. I can think about all the things that I want to do with my nephew when he's born, and just really let my imagination and my creativity kind of go crazy for that row on that intention. And I think that's the part that I really like about it, is there's creativity in setting intentions.
Oh, yes.
There's creativity in our life, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And we're creative people, we're makers. That's one of the reasons why we love what we love to do. So I like the intentions because it brings even more creativity into the process, and just it's a nice visual experience to sit down and really think about something wonderful for that row. And you know, when I'm done that row, if I want to keep thinking about that one thing for the next few rows, I absolutely can. And sometimes it opens the door to even more ideas and even more things that I want to bring into my life, and just focusing really on that one intention. And other times I'll switch it up and I'll move to, you know, like I said, 5 intentions. You don't have to do 5, but, you know, move to the next one. And it's just become such a wonderful practice for me to just bring more positivity into my day. And I feel so much better. And I notice that I am treating myself so much better. And when I treat myself so much better, I treat other people so much better. And so that's how I incorporate this into my craft, and some of the benefits that it has been for me, and how you might be able to incorporate it into you as well. And Kim gave a number of great examples of intentions, and I'll give some more examples as well below this video. But just recap really quick for me, if you don't mind, Kim.
Sure.
There was 3 things that you said that you use when you set an intention, just kind of almost like a framework for setting an intention. Can you just give me the high level of that again?
The first one is they're always in the positive tense.
Okay.
So they're in, you know, we use language that's positive language. So we don't say don't. I don't want that in my intention. It's always positive language. What do we wish to create? Second one, they're always in the present moment. So we don't say, oh, my intention is that tomorrow. It's always right now. Power's in the present moment. This is where we're creating. You're sitting down to create. And the third one is they're always based in qualities, not outcomes. And that one is very important and can be one that needs to be practiced.
Yeah.
But if we just relate to, it's not a certain outcome I wish, it's the quality of my life. So when I loved something you just said that opened the door for me, when you said we're creative beings and we're here to create. Well, imagine that every time we set an intention, we clear up the space of where we've had expectations. It has to look at a certain way, a certain end result, and we're letting that go, so we have more space within us for our creativity to flourish. So intentions help us allow that creativity to flourish. So positive, present moment, based in qualities, and play with them.
Yeah.
Play with them. They could be as simple as, my intention is to be present today. Could be we sit down, my intention is to let go of this prior moment and to create. Could be after we finish creating, my intention is to move back into my, you know, the room with my family and be present with them. Or my intention is to bring the love that I just created with back into the rest of my day. Or my intention is to be kind to myself today. Those are numerous examples just to do with present, positive, based in qualities.
Yes.
And as we practice it over and over again, it'll start to become something that's just natural. You know, it's my favorite question. People will say, you're going to ask me that question, right? What's your intention today? Because it's a very important question. It gets us back to center. I ask it to myself all the time. What's my intention today? I look at what I have to do in the day. If it's a really full day, I aim for, then my intention today is to be flexible, to move through my day with ease and grace and complete everything on time, in time, in a miraculous manner. It's going to get done.
Yes.
But I'm not going to look at it with, oh no, how am I going to get this
and
done?
Scheduling specific
Correct.
Times and controlling. Yeah.
Correct. There's a way to move through our day being gentle with ourselves that opens up much more opportunities for creative solutions to come in. So our intentions help us with that. And then at the end of the day, we get to really be present to what's my intention today, is to just see all that I've created and acknowledge myself gently, which we'll talk about in another video.
Yes, yes. I'm so looking forward to that. That was such a great recap. Thank you so much for that. I've had so much fun setting the intentions. It's been something that has really changed my life. And if I could give you one last suggestion for when you start setting your intentions, is just be kind and gentle on yourself, and don't try not to get into perfectionist mode. I know when I started with setting intentions, I wanted to create the most perfect intention ever, and that's very me. It has to be perfect. But at the end of the day, just start practicing and pick something simple. Maybe the intention is to be more present today. To be conscious of the food that you put in your body, to nourish your body, whatever it is, just pick something simple and start there. And you can, as you practice this, it's going to come more naturally, right?
Practice is everything.
Practice is
everything. Well, look at everything you create.
Yeah.
The practice is everything. It brings us back to center, back to center. So it's being gentle, kind with oneself, and just being willing to play in this field of what would it be like today to set my intention, and then watch how your life unfolds. That's really what, isn't it? Don't you find that when we set the intention and then we're able to watch, wow, that miraculously worked itself out because I was pointing in the direction of which I wished to create, what I wished to create, versus upset that something wasn't going in the way I wanted it. Stay awake to create.
And it is so cool as you start doing this. It really does to me feel miraculous, because I will go through my day and all of a sudden I'll realize, oh wow, something just happened and I set an intention on it. And it really does feel magical sometimes. I'm like, I can't believe that happened. And then I do believe, because I set an intention around it, and it's really cool. It's because I'm directing my energy there. So play around with it and have some fun. Be creative about it. That's what we are. We're creative beings. And I think that's why I love to do it. I love to do it while I craft. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So Kim, thank you so much for this.
And I love how you're just putting them right into your craft. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here. And I really hope you've enjoyed this video. And I would love to see in the comments below, is there an intention you want to focus on today? Leave a comment, let me know. And again, don't be hard on yourself. Just think about, check in with yourself. What would you like to bring more of in your day or in your week or in your life? And try setting an intention with whatever craft it is that you're working on. So let me know the intention you set and what craft you're going to apply it to. I would love to see that. And stay tuned for the next video, because we're going to be back here with Kim, and we're going to be talking about gratitude, which is another really great practice to incorporate in our craft.
Thank you so much.
Hey again, are you enjoying these videos? This is just a small preview of what's waiting for you inside of the Stitches community. Stitches has one goal, and that's to give you all of the resources you need to celebrate your me time while you crochet, knit, sew, or craft. You'll get everything from a library of patterns and video classes to essential skills workshops to help you learn new tips and tricks. Plus, guided meditations and stretches designed specifically for crafters to help you relax even more while working on your projects. And on top of all of this, you'll also get help from our expert instructors, inspiration from other crafters, be able to see pictures of their project and supplies, and if you want, even post pictures of your own work. This is a community designed to appreciate you and the craft that you love. And you can check out the Stitches community with the link in the description below. I hope to see you there.